they agree on the price, they agree on the quantities. This is our first 6-figure deal. They send the paperwork, and one of the very first lines is like, "What's your company address?" Literally, I got the paperwork, and then I got in my car, and I'm like, I got to go find a place.
Tyler Robertson is the CEO, the founder of Diesel Laptops, which is in Columbia, South Carolina. Today we are at SoCo, which is a workspace for entrepreneurs. For scale, tell everybody how many employees Diesel Laptops now has.
Yeah, so today we got over 220 employees. So it's absolutely amazing to see where I've come in 7 years and the company's come. And we'll do a little north of 70 to 75 million in revenue this year.
And you bootstrapped the whole thing.
We bootstrapped it, man.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know any different. That was the only way I knew to do something. So that's the way it's played out.
I love it. So you are so typical to entrepreneurs that are in that growth phase, and I love it because you just see opportunity and you go for it. So you were telling me about you're starting up, you get a first big client, and it's time to figure some stuff out, grow up a little bit. Tell us about that client first.
Yeah, so we're at a trade show, and this is my first time ever going to a trade show, right? And if people have ever been to a big trade show, this is a big trade show in our industry. And I get there, and I had that, we do not belong here feeling as soon as I walked into that trade show floor. And I was like, all right. We were in the back corner. Nobody knew who we were. No one recognized our brand. We're literally trying to, grab people out of the aisles and be like, hey, come talk to us, right? And a guy happens to walk through there. He starts talking about the product and the challenges he has at his company with similar stuff. And we're like, hey, we think we got something here. So we got a great sales lead. And then we spend the next couple months doing follow-ups and demos and quotes and all these things. And they're ready to issue the purchase order. And this is a power company in the Southeast that runs nuclear power plants, right?
Oh, wow.
They don't do business with anybody.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay.
They're buttoned down. They're going to want a lot of details. They want you to dig in. They're not just going to write an agreement on a trade show floor.
Yeah.
No, you got to go through all the hoops.
So they agree on the price. They agree on the quantities. This is our first 6-figure deal. We've never had a 6-figure deal before. And they send the paperwork, and one of the very first lines is like, "What's your company address?" And I'm like, okay, I'm in my garage. I can't put my house address on. What am I going to do? This guy wants to buy something from me. I can't. This might derail it. So literally, I got the paperwork, and then I got in my car, and I got to go find a place.
we need a place.
We need a place. I need an address. I got to figure this out. And I came across what was old photography studio. The guy had just retired, kind of closed the business down. And literally, when I say the backup for photography studio, it was one corner was the Western theme, one corner was the bathtub scene for the photo shoots.
I don't know what they were shooting with the bathtub scene.
It was bizarre.
But this might not have been a photography studio.
Maybe not. But that's where we were. And we moved in there. I signed the lease, and they wanted a 5-year lease. I'm like, I'll give you 12 months, and I'll overpay you. It's all. I don't know where my business is going to be in 12 months.
Sure,
this is small. I could outrun this.
You don't want to take a risk on a long-term lease on a big space.
Yeah, I'm like, I need no remodeling. I'll move right in. And the guy's like, are you sure? Because the only bathroom in here, you have to walk through your office to get to for the employees. And I'm like, I'll take it, man. Let's do it. So it was super awkward for everybody there, but that's where we started. And again, business kept going, things kept expanding, and we just been thankful not to leave a huge wake of excess buildings in behind us.
Yeah,
and we just kept going.
So you start in your garage, you end up in this photo studio. Yeah. How many people are in this particular space?
Oh, I mean, at first it was just me and Riley.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
and then we ended up hiring some more people. We needed more people to help package stuff. We needed tech support. I needed other things. So I think we had the small space, then we ended up taking the rest of the building about 6 months later. I want to say the company was probably 20, 25 people at that point.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, I remember buying the next building. I walk in there, and this place, we're going from 1,500, 2,000 square feet to 7,000.
I just want to make sure everybody sees this, that the startup was in a garage with a first employee named Riley. Then you moved to an old photography studio on a whim because your first client.
Yeah.
And now today, you're in 40,000 square foot, and it's a building that you own.
Yeah, I own the building. I actually bought the 14 acres around it for future expansion, and we started putting locations up throughout the country. So I bought another building here in Columbia for our training center. I own, we have property in Atlanta, Chicago, and Dallas. So we're all over.
It's just easy for people to see your success today and say, oh yeah, I want some of that. It's like, no, you started out in a garage and you figured it out.
So what they don't see is like, yeah, I've been on this 7-year journey, but I was doing this part-time before.
Sure.
And I can tell people listening and watching this, before I was even doing this full-time, I was working 40 to 50 hours a week for someone else.
Right.
And I was also working 30 to 40 hours for myself. There was like no free time. It was just, these are the things I'm doing. And you give up a lot to go on this journey. But at the end of the day, the rewards can be well worth it too.
The rewards are very well worth it, and I appreciate what you've given to the community of Columbia in hiring employees, growing your company. You're doing phenomenal stuff. It's so fucking fantastic. Thanks, Tyler.
No problem.
So good to see you. Cheers. Thanks for watching Entrepreneur Studio. I hope you've learned something today. Please subscribe to the channel so we can keep giving you new business ideas.